The last tool that we are going to talk about is pen tool. It's located over here and we can access it faster with the shortcut P. It's a very important tool in Xd because it introduces us to a concept, and that concept is vector shapes. I don't want to get technical or anything here, but vector shapes are created by some points. We call those points anchor points. We can access the points in the design and then edit them. Just that. That's simple. Activate the pen tool. For this one, don't click and drag for now. Just click in order to have a starting point, and as you can see, I can define the next point, for example, let's say here. Alright, so then again, another click, we created another point. In order to have a straight line, right now you can see that I have any kind of line that I want, but in order to have a straight line, hold shift down, and as you can see, we are having a straight line. Then again, click, we have another point here. Wherever I click, I can have a new stop, and Xd being Xd helps me out with the placement of my point if I want to design a specific shape. For having a smoother design at the points, instead of just clicking, click, hold, and then drag, and as you can see, we have this curved design for that point, and these two handles would appear. Let it go. You have this curved point right now, and your new line is just like this. Then again, click. We have a sharp stop here. Click and drag. We are going to have a smoother stop. As you can see, the handles only appear when we are having a smooth design. We can connect the end to our starting point, for example right here, or not, because when we are designing with the pen tool, everything is up to us. So for now, I'm going to press V to activate my select tool, and my shape is selected. And as you can see on my layers panel, it is known as a path. Let's take a look at the properties inspector. Our shape doesn't have a fill color right now, but let's go and change its color first. And as you can see, when I apply the fill, it guesses the end of my shape and fills my design with the selected color. But it's not always a good idea because sometimes it will look creepy. We have the border and some typical stuff about that. Let me increase the size of the border in order for you to see better. Also change its color. For the joins, as you know, the meter join is the default. We can go with a round join and a bevel. But right now, let's go with the default. Let's talk about this tool a little bit more. So when we select the shape that we draw here right now, I can't select in the middle, I can't click and move it in the middle because it doesn't have a fill, so I have to do it from the borders. When we select our shape, the first time, those points that helped us create this shape are not visible to us, we don't have access to them. So in order to get access to them, we are going to do a double click on the shape, and right now I have access to those points. And as you can see on my properties inspector, measurement properties are limited right now. The size and some other stuff are gone. So if we unselect right now, then select it again, they are back. But if we do a double click in order to access the anchor points, they are gone, and that's something normal. So when editing a shape in Xd, measurement properties will be gone from the properties inspector. If we want to edit our shape for the sharp stops, we just do a click, we select them and then move them around in order to place them however we want. It's a sharp stop. we can do this, okay? But for the rounded corners, if we select them, for example this one, we can play with the placement of our points, but also we have access to these two handles. We can click on them and play with the design however that we want. If we want to edit just one handle, we are going to hold down the Option or in Windows Alt key, then select the handle, and then if we move it around, we only have access to that handle and we can edit that specific handle. Right here, I'm selecting this end. It's a sharp point. Move it around. We don't have any handle. This one is a rounded one, so we have those handles. We can play with them. Also, if we want to play with just one handle, hold down the Option or Alt key in Windows and then play with that specific handle. In order to convert a sharp point to a rounded one, we can just double click on it and then you can see that we have that rounded design and those handles would appear as well. We can do the opposite operation. It's a rounded point, but if I do a double click right now, it's a sharp one. We also can add points to our design. Just hover on the line, for example here, you can see that we have the ability to add a point. Let's just, for example, click here and then we have this point. Double click to have a sharp point, double click to have a rounded design. Sometimes we create points in our shape accidentally, or we don't want a point anymore in our shape. So in order to delete them, then again I'm going to select my shape, double click in order to access the points, and in order to delete a point I'm going to select it, for example this one, select it and then delete and it is gone. That was the pen tool and the things that we can do with it. Let's create an icon with it, and then again it's a very easy one. This checked icon or Nike icon, whatever it is we have here, just take a look at it. And now let's draw one here. I'm going to grab the pen tool, click, click, then click. I'm done designing, so I can press V in order to access my select tool, or just escape, that would do the same operation. Right now I'm going to select my shape, double click in order to access the anchor points, do this a little bit, and right now if I give it a feel, you can see that it's kind of creepy, so we don't do that. Let's go with the white color, round cap and a round join here. For this one, this is a little bit too much. Let's increase the size. Let's go with 1.5 pixels for this. Select it, place it in the middle of this circle. Remember we talked about vector shapes. Let's explore our artboards and see what kind of vector shapes we have here. Let's come down all the way to profile 4 and let's explore, for example, this setting icon here. I'm going to select it. As you can see, it is known as a path in my layers panel, so it's a vector shape. I double click and right now I have access to my anchor points. As you can see, it has a field, so it would be looking like this if we play with the anchor points here. I'm going to undo what I did right now, and then we have our original design. This icon is created by anchor points, so it's a vector shape. This icon is probably made in Illustrator or another program like that. We can create, better say recreate such an icon with the pen tool and the ellipse tool, but here right now it is created by anchor points and then they imported it here in Adobe Xd. So pen tool in Xd is so powerful, you can design some cool stuff with it in your career. It's not as powerful as it is on the Illustrator or Photoshop, and it doesn't need to, as I told you before, Xd is a different animal. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe for more content.